Welcome to the Running Library. Today we're breaking down the key ideas from Atomic Habits by James Clear. Let's get into it. Picture this. You decide to start running. Not a marathon, not even a 5K. Just, you put your shoes by the door tonight. Tomorrow morning, you step outside for 2 minutes. It feels almost silly. 2 minutes can't change your life, right? But what if it can? That's the core idea behind James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. The smallest actions, repeated consistently, don't just add up. They compound, and over time, they can quietly reshape your health, your work, your relationships, and the way you see yourself. Welcome back to the Running Library, where we take big ideas on the move. Today, we're breaking down Atomic Habits, what it's about, 6 key takeaways you can use immediately, who this book is for, and who might want something different, and a simple 3-step action plan to turn the ideas into real change. So first, what is Atomic Habits about at a high level? James Clear argues that most people focus on goals. Run a marathon, write a book, lose weight, save money. Goals feel motivating, but they're not the full story. The real driver of lasting change is your system, the daily habits and environment that make certain behaviors likely and others unlikely. He frames habits as tiny, atomic units, small enough to feel manageable, powerful enough to create massive results through compounding. And rather than relying on willpower, he emphasizes designing your life so the right habits happen almost automatically. A big theme throughout the book is identity. Instead of asking, so, what do I want to achieve? Clear pushes you to ask, who do I want to become? Because when a behavior becomes part of your identity, I'm a runner. I'm the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. I'm someone who reads every day. It becomes easier to stick with it. Now let's get into the 6 key takeaways, with practical examples you can try. First takeaway, focus on identity, not outcomes. Goals are about results. Habits are about the person you become. Clear's point is that lasting habits are built when you shift from I want to run to I am a runner, from I want to write to I am a writer. Here's how that plays out in real life. Imagine 2 people offered a cigarette. One says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. The other says, no thanks, I don't smoke. The second response is identity-based. It's not a struggle, it's who they are. For running, the identity version isn't, I'm training for a race. It's, I'm someone who doesn't miss movement. Or, I'm the kind of person who shows up. And the best part is you don't have to feel like that person first. You cast votes for that identity with small actions. Every time you do the habit, you're proving it to yourself. Second takeaway, make it obvious. Design your environment. Clear argues that environment often beats motivation. If the cue is obvious, the habit is more likely. If the cue is hidden, it's easier to forget. A simple example. If you want to run in the morning, don't rely on morning willpower. Put your running clothes where you'll trip over them. Next to the bed, by the bathroom sink, or on the chair you always use, put your shoes by the door. If you're a treadmill person, keep your headphones right there. If you want to read more, leave the book on your pillow or on the kitchen table. Somewhere you already go. If you want to snack less, don't keep the snacks at eye level. Make the good choice the easy-to-see choice. He also talks about implementation intentions, which is basically deciding in advance. I will do X at time Y in location Z. Not, I'll run more, but after I brush my teeth at 7:15, I will put on my shoes and walk for 5 minutes. The more specific, the more obvious the cue becomes. Third takeaway, make it attractive. Use craving to your advantage. Habits aren't just about cues and actions. They're also about the anticipation of reward. If the habit feels attractive, you'll do it. If it feels like punishment, you'll avoid it. One method Clear highlights is temptation bundling, pairing something you want to do with something you should do. For example, I only listen to my favorite podcast when I'm running, or I only watch that show while I'm stretching. Suddenly, the habit has a built-in pull. Another way to make habits attractive is to join a culture where the behavior is normal. If your friends run, running becomes what people like you do. If your community reads, reading becomes an identity you step into without constant friction. So if you've been trying to run alone and it's not sticking, try a running group, a weekly meetup, or even just a friend you check in with. You're not just adding accountability, you're making the habit socially attractive. Fourth takeaway, make it easy, reduce friction, and master the 2-minute rule. This is one of the most practical parts of Atomic Habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And the best system is the one you'll actually do on your worst day. Clear's 2-minute rule says, when you start a new habit, scale it down to something that takes 2 minutes or less. Not because 2 minutes is the end goal, but because it's the gateway. The habit should be so easy you can't say no. Instead of run 30 minutes, start with put on running shoes or walk to the end of the street. Instead of write a chapter, start with open the document. Instead of meditate, start with sit on the cushion. This works because it lowers the barrier to starting, and starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, continuing is easier, and even if you stop at 2 minutes, you've kept the identity vote alive. I show up. He also emphasizes reducing friction. Want to run more? Make it easier to run. Choose a route that starts at your doorstep, keep your gear ready, decide your workout the night before. Want to eat better? Prep food so the healthy option is the fastest option. Fifth takeaway, make it satisfying. Reinforce the behavior immediately. We're wired to repeat what feels rewarding. The problem is that many good habits have delayed rewards. Running feels hard now. The health benefits show up later. Saving money feels restrictive now. The security comes later. Clear suggests you create immediate satisfaction for good habits. That could be a simple tracking system, like marking an X on a calendar after each run, or using a habit tracker app, or a jar where you drop a token after you complete the habit. It sounds basic, but it gives your brain a quick win. He also talks about the power of never miss twice. You don't need perfect consistency. You need quick recovery. Miss a run because life happens? Fine. Just don't let it become a new pattern. Your goal isn't to be flawless. It's to return to the system fast. For runners, this is huge. If you miss Monday, the habit isn't broken. It's only broken if you miss Tuesday too and start telling yourself the story that you fell off. The identity stays intact when you rebound quickly. Sixth takeaway, understand the habit loop and the 4 laws of behavior change. Clear breaks habits into a loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. And he gives a simple framework to build good habits or break bad ones. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. And to break a bad habit, invert it. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, unsatisfying. Here's a real example with phone scrolling at night. If you want to cut it down, make it invisible. Charge your phone in another room. Make it unattractive. Remind yourself what it costs. Sleep, mood, focus. Make it difficult. Log out of apps, use app limits, remove the most tempting ones. Make it unsatisfying. Add accountability, tell someone your rule, or track nights you kept the phone away. And for building a running habit, obvious, shoes by the door. Attractive, favorite playlist only on runs. Easy, 2-minute start, short route. Satisfying, track it. Celebrate the streak, enjoy the post-run shower as a reward. Now, who is this book for? Atomic Habits is for you. If you like practical frameworks and you want behavior change that doesn't rely on hype or just be disciplined. It's especially good if you've struggled with consistency because it gives you tools to make habits almost automatic. It's also great for people who enjoy thinking in systems, how routines, environment, and small choices shape outcomes. If you're a runner building a base, this book fits perfectly. Training is literally the compounding of small sessions over time. Who might not love it? If you're looking for a deeply emotional memoir-style self-help book, this one is more structured and strategy-driven. And if you want highly specific training plans, nutrition protocols, or psychology research, deep dives, Atomic Habits stays more general, focused on habit mechanics rather than specialized domains. Now let's turn all of this into a simple 3-step action plan you can start today. Step 1. Choose one identity and one tiny habit that proves it. Pick an identity you want to become. Keep it simple. I'm a runner, or I'm a person who takes care of my body, or I'm someone who finishes what I start. Then choose a habit so small it feels almost too easy. Example, after I put on my socks in the morning, I will put on my running shoes. Or I will walk outside for 2 minutes. Your only job is to show up. Step 2, engineer your environment and your cue. Tonight, set up the space so tomorrow is effortless. Put your clothes out. Put your shoes by the door. Decide the time and place. At 7:15, after coffee, I walk around the block. If your biggest obstacle is decision fatigue, remove decisions. Know your route. Know your minimum. Have a default plan. Step 3, make it satisfying and plan for misses. Choose a simple tracker, calendar X's, notes app, or a checklist on the fridge. Every time you do the habit, mark it. That mark is your immediate reward. Then set one rule, never miss twice. Life will interrupt you. That's normal. Your system is successful if it brings you back quickly, not if it prevents all disruption. As we wrap up, here's the big message of Atomic Habits in plain language. You don't need a massive breakthrough. You need a small habit you can repeat, an environment that supports it, and a system that makes it easier to continue than to quit. If you're listening to this while running, walking, or even just lacing up your shoes, take that as your identity vote today. You're the kind of person who shows up. And if you can show up for 2 minutes, you can show up for 10. If you can show up for 10, you can build a life that looks completely different a year from now, not through one heroic effort, but through tiny actions compounded over time. If you want, tell me the habit you're building right now: running, reading, strength training, stretching, journaling, and I'll help you turn it into an obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying system you can actually stick to. This has been the Running Library. Keep it small, keep it consistent, and I'll see you on the next run. If you found this summary helpful, subscribe to the Running Library for new insights every day. And tell me in the comments what book or article you want next.